All right, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are decoding the skills you need to navigate what is, let's be honest, a fiercely competitive job market. The modern professional landscape can be incredibly unforgiving, especially when you're just starting out. It heavily penalizes candidates who can't clearly distinguish between their hard and soft skills. If you've ever stared at an entry-level job posting and felt completely overwhelmed by the endless list of requirements, you are absolutely not alone. So we're going to break down the exact skill sets that define your professional toolkit, using our source material to figure out exactly how to market yourself and stand out to hiring managers. We've organized this material into 6 clear sections to build your ultimate professional toolkit. We'll cover the early career challenge, defining your abilities, hard skills, soft skills, the employability tiebreaker, and categories beyond the basics. Kicking things off with Section 1, the early career challenge, standing out in a crowded market. Stepping out of guided education and into the real world is daunting, isn't it? For years, teachers and parents chart our course. And then, suddenly, the safety net is gone. You're stepping into an arena with high competition, but fewer available jobs. This disparity creates immense anxiety for entry-level job seekers. A massive part of that anxiety is driven by simply not knowing how to market your specific toolkit to employers. The source points out that whether you're an entrepreneur facing high risk or a job seeker facing a crowded applicant pool, mastering how to present your abilities is no longer just optional, it's essential for your professional survival. Moving right along to Section 2, defining your abilities. What exactly are we measuring? Before we can build our toolkit, we need to establish a baseline. We really need to ask ourselves this fundamental question: what exactly is a skill? We throw this word around all the time on our resumes, right? People haphazardly list things like good at emails or hard worker without really understanding what a professional ability actually entails. We need to define it in a structured, professional context. The source defines a skill as the ability to get expected results using specific time and resources. It isn't just about passive knowledge, it's about efficient, targeted execution. Think of it this way. It's not just knowing what a hammer is, it's driving a nail perfectly into a piece of wood in 3 seconds flat. Now that we have that concrete, results-oriented definition, we can actually start categorizing the abilities that will define your early career. Section 3, hard skills. The technical foundation, your professional hands and brain. Let's look at the concrete requirements that actually get your foot in the door. Hard skills are measurable, quantifiable, and acquired through specific formal processes. You don't just absorb a hard skill out of thin air, you acquire them intentionally through institutional education, like a college degree, formal professional certifications, hands-on internships, or structured on-the-job training. These formal processes matter immensely for an early career resume because this is exactly how hiring algorithms and HR screeners verify you actually have the foundation before a human ever even looks at your application. To put it simply, these are your hard skills for technical tasks. They are the specific job-based proficiencies you'll often see directly listed in job descriptions. Think accounting, database management, engineering, programming, or translation. If you want to be an accountant, your knowledge of spreadsheets and financial laws is your primary hard skill. They are easily testable, clearly definable, and they form the absolute baseline requirements you need to simply get past the applicant tracking systems in an early career job search. And as a quick subset of this, technical skills are the extremely applied, hands-on mechanical or IT abilities for a very specific task. The source notes that these are deeply rooted in science, math, or mechanics. Think about roles handling big data or data mining. The vital thing to remember here is that technical skills generally have very low transferability. Being a master at database design is fantastic, but it doesn't help you much if a project suddenly pivots and you need to write a creative marketing proposal. That's a hard wall you hit when your highly specialized technical skills lack pivotable cross-functional utility. Which brings us to Section 4, soft skills, the workplace glue, your professional heart and communication. Let's totally shift gears here. If hard skills are the specialized abilities you use for technical tasks, your soft skills exist entirely for your workplace relationships. They dictate how you interact with others and adapt to your environment. You literally can't learn these from a textbook. They are forged through workplace experience, human connection, and keen observation. They're shaped by observing how a senior manager diffuses a tense meeting, how you handle constructive feedback, and how you perceive the emotional needs of the people around you. The core examples of soft skills include adaptability, communication, teamwork, problem-solving, emotional intelligence, and time management. Unlike strict technical abilities, these are highly transferable traits that allow you to quickly integrate into absolutely any new environment. For an early career professional, this transferability is incredibly valuable. When industry requirements inevitably shift and the software you learned in college becomes obsolete, your ability to problem solve, communicate, and adapt becomes your ultimate professional safety net. So, to summarize the structural difference sharply, hard skills are the specialized tools for the task, while soft skills are the operating system for your relationships. Hard skills are your technical tasks. They're measurable, job-specific, and formally taught. Soft skills are for your workplace dynamics, interpersonal, highly transferable, and learned through environmental observation. You absolutely need both to function, but they serve entirely different purposes in the daily reality of your career journey. Now for Section 5, the employability tiebreaker, what employers actually hire. Let's synthesize these concepts and see how employers weigh these traits differently across your career trajectory. Notice how entry-level positions rely heavily on technical proficiency. When you're a young job seeker, you're primarily judged on your ability to execute a specific hard skill, simply because you don't yet have the track record to prove your high-level conceptual skills. But as you move to mid-level management, it shifts into a necessary balance of technical execution and human relations. Finally, at the top leadership levels, conceptual skills and high-level problem-solving take the wheel almost entirely. So the ultimate takeaway from the source is this tiebreaker narrative. Hard skills get you the interview, but soft skills get you the job. Paint a mental picture of a hiring manager looking at a stack of resumes for an entry-level position. Almost every single applicant in that pile has the required technical degree. They all know the software. So how do they choose? Well, it's the soft skills that make a candidate the safer, more lucrative hire. Your proven ability to communicate, adapt to company culture, and collaborate without causing friction, that is the tiebreaker that pushes you ahead of the competition. And finally, Section 6, Beyond the Basics, Specialized in Everyday Skills. To wrap up our explainer, we have to look beyond the office to the remaining skill categories that round out your comprehensive human profile. First up are personal skills. These are absolutely vital for maintaining your personal health and handling the inevitable pressures of the workplace. We're talking about resilience, self-control, self-awareness, and stress tolerance. You could be the most technically gifted engineer in your entire city, but if you lack the personal skills to manage high stress, your physical and mental well-being will inevitably suffer, dragging your professional performance down with it. Next, the source highlights a major, growing trend: hybrid skills. Rapid technological changes are creating a massive need for candidates who possess this unique, blended skill set. This is quickly becoming the new baseline rather than a luxury, especially for young professionals trying to future-proof their careers against AI and automation. Imagine someone who can code complex software architecture, a deep technical hard skill, but who also possesses the soft skills of project management and communication to actually lead the development team. That hybrid combination makes you practically indispensable. Finally, all abilities are technically life skills, from tying your shoes and riding a bike to basic literacy and calculating expenses. However, their necessity changes drastically based on your socioeconomic environment. The source gives a really fascinating geographical example here. The life skills required to thrive in a remote area of Bandarban or the bustling streets of Dhaka are vastly different from the life skills needed in New York or Tokyo. And these directly connect to your professional success. How effectively you navigate your daily commute or manage your personal budget directly impacts the energy you have left to bring to your hard and soft workplace skills. I want to leave you with this final thought to help you assess your own competitive toolkit for your early career job search. Take a hard look at your current resume. Are you just listing a dry series of technical tasks? Or are you actually telling a compelling story about your workplace relationships, your resilience, and your adaptability? Look at your balance of hard and soft skills, figure out your unique tiebreakers, and start building that unignorable professional profile. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.